Ladies and gentlemen, you're just not going to believe what the Empower channel brings to you today. Are you ready? 1,018 locations, martial art wise. Can you believe this? Everybody, let's go to the UK. A quick hello to Matt Fiddes. How are you, Matt?
I'm great. How are you, Mr. C?
Great. Matt is one of the largest martial art chain schools worldwide. He's got a global fitness empire. He's at the forefront of not only martial arts, but dance, Pilates, ladies only kickboxing, performing arts. I mean, your resume is about this big. You're in the UK, Ireland, Germany, Holland, South Africa, and Australia. And I'm probably missing a few countries. If I am, I apologize. Matt, how does your mind get around all of this responsibility that you have? How do you put your arms around this responsibility?
I think the best way to describe it, thank you for the incredible introduction there, sir. I mean, that was, it takes me back to over 20 years ago when I first met you guys and how I looked up to you and the chairman and your brother Mark. And I think you need to relate to it like weight training, where the more pressure you put yourself under, then your muscles will grow due to that resistance. And man, have I been put under some pressure mentally over the years. It's not been an easy ride, to get there. So I've been labelled, criticised for selling out, being called McDojo, like comparing us to McDonald's. How is this kid doing it? Obviously, they thought I've had kind of a strange life because the people who I associated with and got introduced to at a very young age, like Michael Jackson and Britney Spears and people like that, Mohammed Al-Fayed, the owner of Harrods, all billionaires. I've had such a strange life. I used to have to make up stories of what I did at the weekend, because if I told them the truth, no one would believe me. But I remember once speaking to your late brother Mark, and I was a little upset with the way the martial arts world was treating me. And he said to me, your success you're going to get. He said, the chairman's got many scars on his back, is the way he described it, and so is he. And then about half an hour later, the chairman called me, and he said, what's the problem? What's the issue? Why are you concerned? You've got to be concerned when you're not getting all these people moaning and paying attention to you. You need to be more aggressive, get more of that. You should be happy about that. It's fantastic what I'm hearing, that you're getting criticised and negativity. And then he said to me, one thing that stuck into me all throughout my career is, the lead dog takes all the fawns. That's what he said. And he said, what you're doing is unusual. It's never been seen before. You're just turned 18 years old. But you need to just be more aggressive, focus, ignore the politics, stay in your own world, and listen to me and go for it. Keep going, because some people pull back at that point.
Yeah, Matt, let me ask you. You're a young professional at that point. I mean, you're anxious, you're fired up, you're ready to go, but you have like one location. Everybody starts out kind of small, and everybody has a unique mindset. Some people have a school and they grow it to a mega school, and that's where their talent is. But you took a vertical and expanded it as wide as you could. What mindset does somebody need to have several people that are following your system? I mean, where is your mind that expands horizontally in a vertical market?
It's a very interesting story, and probably something that people will find incredible. So I got to the point where most people will get. I had 5 locations in an area in North Devon, in the south coast of England, where all the beaches are. The next town was about 40 miles away. Now, at that time, I don't want to name drop, but I have to, because it's my normality, it's my life. So at that time, I was bodyguarding Michael Jackson. We became very close friends. I was in his hotel suite in London, and Michael said, "How's your business doing? Your martial arts schools?" And he had a tremendous interest in martial arts. You'll see it in his dance and stuff. Fascinated with Bruce Lee. He wanted me to introduce him to Shannon Lee, and we were trying to make that happen through Diana Inosanto. So he wanted to study great minds, Michael did. He would read 4 or 5 non-fiction books a week. You don't get to be the biggest superstar in the world and a multi-billionaire without being clever. And a lot of the stuff you see, the stuff, he created the controversy because he understood. He used to say to me, you need to be interested for people to be interested in you. So a lot of the stuff you see is not the real guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I was moaning, saying, I said, Michael, I can't do no more. I can't get my team member to travel from here to here. It can't happen. And he said to me, sure you can. He said, if I can come out of Gary and Deanna in a family of 11, poor, with our mum making clothes, and be the biggest superstar in the world with the biggest selling album filler, you can take this thing. I said, well, how do I do that? Because how do I do it? And he said, it's called franchising. And I said, but that's never been done in martial arts before. He goes, that's right. That's exactly why you've got to do it. You've got to be the first. He said, I was the first to do the moonwalk. I was the first person to be on MTV. Uri Geller was the first guy to do the bending spoon thing, you know, and become world famous. Tony Robbins was the first person to ride over the hot coals. Loads of people did it afterwards, but being the first was the key. So he got a napkin out, and I wish I kept it, and he wrote out a plan of how I could franchise. And he introduced me to a franchise lawyer because he franchised his brand at the time. I know his brand did get tarnished in later years, but he still was able to sell out 50 nights to 20,000 people just before he passed away in London, the O2 Arena. So his brand was powerful. So he franchised his name to all things. So the franchise lawyer looked at me and said, well, you basically have a franchise there. The 5 schools you have is a business model. All you got to do now is change your mindset, have a franchise agreement drawn up, believe in yourself, and get out there and sell it. And then, again, Michael played a good part in that, because what would happen, you can imagine the conversations. I would give him a call at Neverland, and he would say, Matt, how are you doing? It's good. I'm doing great. I've opened a new location. We put 30 members in. How are you doing, Michael? Done really well. Just signed an $18 million contract with somebody. And I'll get off the phone and I'm thinking, gee, man, how did my life become like this? You know, it's incredible.
Matt, let me ask you this. That was a superstar that helped you to think big.
Yeah.
In the martial art world or in your own family, who was 1 or 2 people that helped you to think big, elastically?
My mum was a lawyer. She passed away sadly. She was one of 14 children, poor background. Self-educated us as we were children to become a lawyer to provide for the family due to the big recession we had in '89. She was a legal executive and she home studied. I've got very clear memories of her books there. And she had the attitude of, you can do anything in life, man. Now, I'm not very good academically, John. I'm not very good. I'm not embarrassed to say I can't write a letter that you would be able to read. I can't do it because all I have to, that hasn't limited me. If I have paperwork to fill out, I pass it to my wife because it'd be like hieroglyphics. No one understand it. I can understand it, but they can't. Because I didn't do well at school. I failed everything. But I had the mindset that at 12 years old, I don't know why, I just wanted to be a martial arts instructor, and it wasn't around then. EFC brought it to the UK first. It wasn't around, and then when it did come
but Matt, but something inspired you to have a drive. I mean,
the bullies.
You have all of these franchisees. Where'd you get the drive? What keeps the drive burning right now?
I like to prove people wrong, and it started off with me being bullied at school. It started off with my career advisor saying, you can't do martial arts as a career, Matthew, don't be ridiculous. Go over there and join the queue to be an electrician. My grandfather wanted me to get a trade, just like he was raised, electrician, plumber, decorator, plasterer, work on the railway, something like that. He used to say to me, but he took his words back, you're never going to make any money out of kicking your legs in the air, Matthew. You've got to stop this thinking, you know. And he did 15 10 years later, he said, I'm really sorry what I said back then. I got it wrong. But it was trying to, because I was bullied at school, it was like, I will prove you guys. And I said, that career advisor, the young Matt, the successful Matt, back then, at 21 years old, I went back to the school in a brand new Ferrari, £140,000 brand new Ferrari, asked to see her, brought her out, I said, hey, do you remember you told me I could be a success in martial arts? Look at this. And she shook my hand, gave me a hug, said, I'm so sorry. I just can't believe it. And then she had me in the next week to do an assembly talk to the whole secondary school about with the right mindset, you can make it.
With a car like that, you really arrive to your problems in style, Matt. You really do. Matt, what is a principle that rings in your ear, a business principle, a mantra that you have that's helped you?
I always have things stuck in my brain from what your father, the chairman, taught me. Obviously, I mean, he was my first role model, a mentor, and there was no, it's do it this way or don't do it at all. And having no qualifications and having this man available to me, and he would be available to me. I mean, he would call me back if he was busy. He was a busy guy, always in the office, even at weekends, if need be, he would call. And I guess for him too, he saw my ambition, because I approached yourself, your family at an event in San Francisco in '98. And you three were sat there, and I wanted to say hi. I seen you guys on videos and VHSs back then, been interviewed by Mark for the audio cassettes. And I remember went up there and said hi, and all three of you said, fantastic, this is the confidence you've got to have. It takes a lot of guts for a young guy like you to come up and introduce yourself. And then the chairman later on took me aside and said, you're doing good, but the Ferraris have got to stop. Yeah, and they got to stop, and you got to look at property. And of course, I went heavily into that. And that's what, in this time, which we'll talk about later, that's in the background there. That's strong as ever. And he was heavily advising me. All every bit of money I'd earned, go and buy a property. And I did, of course, I ended up buying Ferraris and Bentleys in the end. But only when I got to the point where I had enough passive income coming in, like the chairman taught me, that I was able to do it, and it wasn't a liability anymore. I secured my financial situation. So, yeah, to answer your question, is his always telling me to be more aggressive with my marketing. When I'm thinking I'm doing everything I possibly can, he'd throw 20 more ideas at me.
Matt, on a daily schedule, it must be pretty intense and compact. What are a few things that are on that daily schedule that we could glean from your mind that has to work expansively with over 1,000 locations? What's on that schedule?
Should we talk before COVID-19?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. So my daily schedule basically is these guys, so we call it the MF family. We have our own hashtag for it, hashtag MF family. So it's family martial arts. I'm there for them all, and I've always been there for them all. So it's a very much an approach that they can call me at any time, have access to me, and I will do whatever I can for them. And I've always done that from the start. And that loyalty I've given to them has paid back. So my daily schedule is not as intense as you'd imagine on a normal situation, because we've been around a long time now, John. We've been around 23, nearly 24 years. It's gone so fast. So these people, they understand exactly how to run their martial arts schools. Every problem there's been, we've overcome it. So we've got the perfect model now. So my role is more PR, managing the brand, making sure nobody puts the brand into disrepute, does something silly, making sure we've got safeguarding in place, instructors are training regularly, their appearance, they're wearing the branded material, ABP, you guys always be promoting, that they're staying healthy. And also one thing I've learned too since I lost my mum, which really the last 8 years or so I've grown more than ever, is you wake up, young
Yeah.
Matt Fiddes, who is, has got a certain amount of fame and success, or all the money in the bank that it doesn't help. And I had the attitude, I was cocky, and I admit, I looked at things that, don't worry, I could save my mum. I told my brothers, we got access to anyone. I could get a superstar on the phone and get the best professor ever. And I did that, John. And I paid for trial drugs, £50,000 at a time. And I still had to watch her being lowered into that grave at 32 years old. And that woke me up to realize materialistic things is nonsense. And now we know more than ever, it's your family and your health that have to come first.
Those are great priorities, really great priorities. In your day-to-day, in your career, as you look back, what would be a big challenge that you had to go through that we could identify with? And what was the challenge, and what did you have to do to think your way through the challenge? Can you share something?
Yeah. I mean, back then I thought there were challenges, but now I look back and they were laughable. I mean, it's hard because you can't teach some of this stuff because it comes with wisdom. And you really need to look up to your leaders and listen to what they say. So, for instance, embarrassing, I'm sure lots of martial arts scholars will remember these days, posters used to be a great way to put on, you guys call them flyers, to put on walls to bring members in. That they were powerful back in 97, 98. John, I used to lose sleep if a competitor would take a poster down. So I'd go and put 100 posters up around the towns that my schools were in, and then they'll be down the next day. I used to lose sleep over that. And I look back now and think, that wasn't a challenge at all, So, yeah, I mean, challenges like people trying to leave you to set up on their own, being late for classes, not keeping themselves physically fit. They've got to be a perfect role model if they want to be part of my brand. My name's above the door. So if they don't obey to that, then sorry, we shake their hands and thanks for giving us a try, And so keeping that personal brand to me has been so important over the years. And I've tried to ignore all the fads. And I won't mention other names because there's full respect to everyone else who tries different business systems, but we've had waves over the years where people are encouraged to do different payment methods, and where I've just stuck to the same thing. I've done from 97 to now. I've done it over and over and over and over and over again, basically, and adapted to it, obviously with the digital age and the marketing has changed, but the principle of direct debits and so on, I've not moved away from. The people who have moved away from that, I'm seeing them struggle right now, or go out of business, or gone out of business before COVID-19.
Matt, let me talk about how you see the global of martial arts. We've had politics in the past, and we've had divisions. Where do you see with the challenges now with COVID-19? It's coming together. What's your take on that?
You know what? I think politics, alas, is out the window. It's gone. And I've had, like I said earlier, I've had to live with a lot of criticism from my competitors and people who don't believe in martial arts business. The old school people labeling me with McDojo, Sun Out, and all sorts of different. Well, I'm sure Americans have their own names for it too. And I've gone through all that, and I'm not somebody who holds kind of grudges in a way. So since we've entered this situation now of crisis, all those people that were giving me a hard time and didn't embrace what the chairman taught me and your family taught me back then, and embracing the information now, they are calling me up saying, listen, help, please. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I've been saying on the internet, keyboard warriors, But at the same time, these are the people that, if I go to an event, they're queuing up, wanting a picture and an autograph. And I'm getting, and I know who they are, like keyboard warriors. They just cannot understand the mindset. But now they're having to learn it very quick and turn it around and learn all these principles really fast to build a martial arts business. So I've been getting calls from people who have been my worst enemies saying, can you forgive me? Can you help me out? And I bet we've been doing that. I've been hopping on to loads of conferences, you know, and things.
So you've been noticing that with the challenges that we're having a more united feeling in the martial arts, that we're all in the boat and we all have our same challenges. Matt, you had shared with me something interesting, that you got a champagne bottle and your message was one of hope. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So the Prime Minister announcement was a key. So last Sunday, we were going to get news. Are we going to come out of lockdown, or are we going to stay in lockdown? Now, our numbers are high, over 30,000 deaths from COVID-19. So I thought to myself, the chances are here, we're probably not going to come out of lockdown, or it's going to be some kind of relaxed fashion. So I wrote in the afternoon. I knew after the Prime Minister had that speech, thoughts were coming to people's minds, my franchisees, my instructors, and panic, really panic. Oh, what are we going to do now? How are we going to survive? So in England, I knew worst scenario would be we would not get our over 1,000 locations back until the new school term starts in September, because we're nearing the summer holidays here. So I knew that was a reality. I knew that because in Ireland, their plan was announced a week before, and we work closely with Ireland. So I had 3 plans written out, 13 steps. I'll send them to you. Maybe you want to send them to some of your clients. 13 steps of how to react, depending on what Prime Minister Boris Johnson had to say. I picked the right one. So he basically said, we're in lockdown. Really, we are. Certain industries are allowed to open, but martial arts, we're at the back of the scene. We're not going to be able to get our locations back anytime soon. And it's going to be September, realistically. We might get some outdoor activity in July, August, where we can make conscious safety decisions using social distancing and scientific advice. But we're going to think about a brand. We may choose to stay to September just to make sure we're totally safe. So what I did, I said to my wife, you know, I don't normally drink, but I want this message to get out there. So I got a champagne bottle, which she bought for my birthday, which is due next week. And I poured a glass, and I was ready. So he finished his speech. I jumped straight on a Zoom conference. I had incredible attendance, as you can imagine, looking at me. What are we going to do now, Master Fiddes? How are we going to operate online for the next 3 or 4 months? What did that mean? So I just said to them all, guys, wait, fantastic. Isn't it great? Just now, that man has made one announcement and has made martial arts online the most valued thing there is. Because the kids, not all the kids are going back to school. Summer holidays are upon us. And we're more valuable than we've ever before. We're going to have students flocking to our schools now in big numbers. Well, overnight, it's just been triple value. The kids have got nothing to do. The parents are pulling their hair out. And they've got to last till September now, most of them. That's a long way off. So all of a sudden, our service became so much more valuable. So our current students are saying, are you still going to go online? Are you still going to carry on? Please do. We need the structure on our life. So I went live on my Facebook page. I did a big announcement. Hey, guys, just to let you know, we're open as normal. And we're going to over-deliver. And just so you're aware, we're recruiting new members. We're signing people up. Come and join us. And we want to help you out when you need us the most right now. You need us. We want you to put uniforms on, give the kids a structure to their lives. And so the franchises are like, wow, this is great, you know. And then we had a Monday morning one, which was the strategy on how we get members in, how we grow out of this. And the goal is for all of them to grow out of COVID-19, not just survive it, but to go. So before we entered it, we had our number. I want them to come out bigger and better than ever before, you know. And the team are out there. They're working harder. They're positive. But it starts with the leader. If you're negative in any way, and I'm only human, John. I have my wobbles sometimes. You know, each day 5 or 10 minutes. So it's just normal. You just got to remove that thought from your brain. But they're looking for you for leadership as a martial arts school owner. If they see you're negative in any way, it's going to reflect on them, then it's reflect on their instructors, and then reflect on their student body. You have to be you have to be a strong leader in your community at this time. I mean, that's the most powerful message, not just for the martial arts, but for the community. Doors are open. We want to help you. How can we serve you?
It's incredible that in an overnight thought, you had a total switch,
Yeah.
turned the whole situation, popped the champagne bottle and said, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Really good. Matt, you've had such a illustrious life, ups and downs. Somehow your shoulders have been uh, strong and wide because you've taken on so much responsibility. It's absolutely incredible. In closing, let me put you on the spot a little bit. Let's say a year down the road, where do you see your organization a year down the road if you have a crystal ball and you could see? And it's a little bit about what your expectations are too, planted right now. What are your expectations for a year down the road? What would you say?
Well, I don't have expectations. I don't need a crystal ball. As far as I'm concerned, the Fiddes Martial Arts Organization will be twice or three times the size of what it was before we went into COVID-19. That's going to happen because I'm going to make it happen. And my team know they're going to make it happen. That's it. That's it. And I tell them, don't watch the media. Don't watch the media. Listen to me. I'll look for important changes for you, and I'll inform you. Instead of watching the media, pay attention to your students. Give them a call. Do personal messages. I mean, John, I'll give you some things. I've been going out my way. I've been doing up to 1,000 a day of personal 30-second videos to children who we class as C students, which are ones who are not attending so much and so on, and who've lost motivation, maybe find it hard mental health-wise. If they get a video note personalized from Master Fiddes, suddenly they don't want to quit anymore. The families are like, wow, I just can't believe your instructors made the effort to speak to Master Fiddes about my child. They're not going to be cancelling their trying to DD. And then what happens then is they're back in class. They're telling their friends, you get referrals and so on. So I'm trying to keep up with the demand, but I am literally doing 1,000, I'm sick of seeing my own face, 1,000 messages a day and getting the personal names, happy birthdays, get well soon. You can do this, well done on your grading. Congratulations because you're ready for your grading. The franchise are sending me to by WhatsApp, and I'm trying to turn them around as quick as I can. And for Australia too, you know, which is another situation. 10 o'clock at night, I've got to start it all over again. But that's the extra mile, like the chairman used to say. You cannot go any further than having your lead sensei doing a personal message for all your students in this time that means value to them, not a generic one. We owe them more than that right now. I could just do, hey students, hope you're doing well, and if you got a birthday this week, happy birthday. But no, we name the student. I do it specific. Also, if they've lost a loved one, we've had people who've lost COVID-19. We've had suicide of parents because of mental health inside COVID-19. I get the message from the instructors, from the franchise owner. I called the child and said, I'm so sorry that you lost your dad last night. I'm here to help you. What can we do to help you? Then I speak to the mum. We're on the ball. And I've always done that. And I think that's what's paid dividends in my success, is I will do anything for the MF family, anything for them. And I've said to my team, I will sell every house I have to, if it came to it, to keep them all in work. And I really mean it. I don't need to do this, John. I could just go off to the sunset my properties I want to, but I've got so many families depending on me. They need me more than ever right now. And I'm going to not only get them through this, we're going to look back in a year's time and thinking, what on earth was that all about? Well, look at how big we are now. And we're going to have a huge party and celebrate the success, you know. So, yeah, for me, it's exciting times.
You know, your mom planted some great seeds in you, but what I find is from 17 to now, you have evolved. Now you're an essential business mentor. You're an essential business coach. You're a business trainer. You're thinking expansively, and you really care deeply about your brand and about moving forward. And it's your fire in your belly. It's your conviction and your fortitude that has brought you forward. And you've done that well, my friend. As they say, my grasshopper, respectfully, you've done that well. And we're so happy that you spent some time on the Empower channel. We appreciate that so much. So we are embracing you and we're celebrating you as a champion in the martial arts. And we thank you for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it a lot.
Anything I can do for your clients or anybody out there in the martial arts, hunt me down, mattfiddes.com. Send an email to HQ and I'll get back to you guys. But everyone's got to unite right now. Stay positive. It's all going to be just fine.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. Peace.
Got it.
Beautiful. I loved it.
Good. Well, good.
Brian, what were your impressions?
Oh, dear Lord. Matt, I mean, it's obviously you have an incredibly rich story. But, you know, the combination and mixture of both humility and confidence just really exudes from your character and what you had to share. And, you know, it's quite possible that 99% of people that are going to be watching this will never attain that level of expansiveness in the context of business that you have. But and that's not everyone's mission or role, and that's okay. But the principles of looking up to others and mentors and being humble and then treating people with the most respect and love at every level really was really clearly communicated. And I'm really grateful to get to know you and to witness that, because that is really, really incredible.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
For your kind words, sir.
Matt, in the near future, I would love to circle back to you. And I just want to ask you one question and a little bit down the road. How you doing? Where are you? Where's your mind?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, it's to me, the biggest challenge for me, John, is being in martial arts since I was 7. I'm used to having like a high intensity workout every day. So being allowed to just go for a walk is not really cutting it for me. And with me, there's a big link to the adrenaline rush of exercise and my mental health ability, because I've always had the physical side there. So not being, I'm privileged because we got incredibly sized homes, but a lot of my team are in apartments in London and things, you know, and it's tough on them. So it's good, but it's not nice having to receive the suicide calls. And could you imagine, we're serving over 100,000 students, so they're not talking about the people who commit suicide yet on the news in this situation. But I can assure you, I think I've had 13 or 14 parents who've not declared their accounts right, so not entitled to any benefits, and they took their own life believing that their life insurance would pay out and will look after them, but that's not the case, you know. And it's hard, and it's and so sometimes my franchises do. I get one every now and then who ring me up and 3:30 in the morning and crying. I don't know if are we going to get through this, sir? I say, yeah, of course we're going to get through this. You know, and I have put that guarantee behind them, John. So I have said to them, I will rescue you if you get yourself in trouble. But what we mustn't do is lose our team members, because if you lose them, then you can come back. So we got a package in place in MFHQ where I put my personal money in to, should I have to, we haven't had to yet, to rescue certain instructors if we need to. Because if you haven't got your team, and a team takes a while to build, takes a long while to build, then you're not going to be able to come back. So it's keeping the team is the key part, really. But yeah, I'm good. I mean, it's not, for me, I'm in lockdown now until September. That's the reality. But what I want to get into, the truth is, John, and I've moved to this house. We built this house ourselves. We just bought a house in Cyprus before COVID in January. I was going to be a non-resident not just because of tax purposes, but also because of the lifestyle there, the sun, the kids got better education. My older children, teenagers now, they can fly there. And I'm sure you have it in the States. If you live in places like Cyprus, you pay no income tax. You still pay corporate tax. I can't go on paying 600, 700,000 a year. My accountants advised me to go there. So, and we've got this incredible house out there. I've never been able to live in it yet, but I will. So my plans were, at 40 years old, we moved here back to Devon from Swindon, and was to retire. And I didn't envision this. I'm like back in the trenches. Like I'm trying to save the income now so I've got the tax, to have a tax problem, to go to Cyprus. It's a very strange situation, you know. But yeah, we're not allowed, in England, they're not allowed any national travel this year, which is just going to annoy Ken Pankovic. He loves his airplanes. But yeah, we're fortunate because we got the house, we're financially secure. Your father taught me about property. He really pushed me hard with that property. You got no idea. I mean, he really, I think, I didn't want to mention Lee on there because sadly things didn't really work out for Lee, you know. And I think in a way it's a shame because he kind of needs to be highlighted because he went out to you guys. I know he became very close with you and brought it back. But at the same time, he's in the Philippines selling vodka right now on commission. So I didn't want to have respect for him too, kind of bring him into it. But in a way, I made some mistakes by trying to copy some mistakes he made, which the chairman used to be really tough on him with, you know, the Ferraris and the permed hair and all that type of stuff. And I remember once a story where you took him to church. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember you took him to church? And
we had some nice spiritual conversations, but I don't remember taking him to church, but maybe I did.
Yeah, you took him to church and he had his hair down and it was permed. And there was the picture of the Lord there. And you looked at him, he looked at you, and you made some comment, you know, to him. And yeah, it's funny. I can remember the early days so well because it was I worked hard, you know. It was, and I didn't question any of the EFC advice. It was just get on with it because I never did anything else before. It was I had nothing else to back me up. There was nothing else I could do. I had no qualifications. So I had Mark would advise me the advertising. He would spend time with me on that. I think the chairman really wanted to make this young guy, this young skinny guy, who was out of South. He said to me actually, if you come to San Francisco, that will prove to me that you're serious. And if you're serious, I'm serious. And then I came there, and then he spent an hour with me, and he gave me the property advice. He talked to me about his Marriott hotel investments and things, and what to invest in. And I was like 18 years old then. And so there is an element of luck to my success, and I do believe that. I didn't want to say that in the interview, but obviously I was in the right place at the right time. Lee went out to you guys, come back. I was 17. I connected very quickly to your brother. I connected very quickly to your father. I must have annoyed you so much when you couldn't think of all the questions I used to ask you in the hotels at the Marriott in Swindon. I used to bombard you and used to take us out for meals and stuff. And then I was privileged enough to, you know, the thing with Michael is it gave me access to his friends are not people who complain or moan, and they don't talk or gossip about people. And you sit on the table and they're just talking about ideas. And so you got 18-year-old Matt there. I don't know, you know, Mohammed Al Fayed is. Mohammed Al Fayed was the owner of Harrods. He's a multi-billionaire. And his son died with Princess Diana in the car crash. They were dating. Yeah. So me and Mohammed are close friends to this day. So I was at his house, and I have Michael Jackson sitting next to me, Britney Spears, and then we had Daryl Hannah, the movie star, David Blaine, Uri Geller. So you got 4 or 5 billionaires there, multi-millionaires, and then little old Matt, who was there and I used to pinch myself thinking, how the heck did I get here, you know? But now I look back, at the time it was normal, apart from I used to have to lie about what I was doing at the weekend because people would think I was crazy until they saw me walking next to Michael on TV at award shows and things. But they used to talk about ideas. And Mohammed Al Fayed said to me one time, he said, it's Saturday night, Matt. This is the best part of the evening. And I said, why is that, Mohammed? He said, it's because we're here all discussing how to make our next billion or so. It's kind of like a mastermind group, you call it these days, I guess, where Michael exchanged his ideas and then Uri Geller have his and Mohammed have his. And he said, well, other people now on a Saturday night are the 97% of the people who are out there that earn us the money. They're the ones out there getting drunk at nightclubs and things. And that stuck with me because I never went to I never had alcoholic drink until I was 27, John. Never went to a nightclub until I was like 27 years old either. That's when I got divorced, you know. And you try finding a girlfriend when you're Matt Fiddes. That's pretty tough, man, because they stick you in Google, or if they know you're already in England, they got some preconceived, like, can you trust them? Do they want my money? Do they want my connections? I mean, it was a long, old process. I had to go to South Africa to find my beautiful wife, you know, who's very, very religious, you know, and brought up, you only have one man in your life, that's it. And she changed me big time. I mean, she changed me. I got baptized, and yeah, I'm a Christian, and yeah, she changed my whole thinking process, you know, totally. Material things were gone, and yeah, a little bit of luck. I don't know if it's positive thinking. Of she and her mindset, we met by, she wrote a letter in her Bible saying, I want to she's a pop star in South Africa. I want to live abroad one day. I want to marry someone from England. I don't want to live in South Africa anymore. And she waited. She stayed. She stayed. Well, she stayed virgin, like the religion says, until her wedding night. You know, for me that was like incredibly unusual from dating glamour models and things before I went out there. So I went out to South Africa because the media would give me such a hard time after Michael Jackson died, wanted interviews and printing whatever they wanted, claiming I was the father of one of his children, all this crazy stuff. So my agent said, let's go to South Africa. I've got a pop star out there who's on tour, and I've got to look after her. I had the same agent, because you need to break. My mum was dying. The media, we had paparazzi everywhere. So we went to South Africa, and I met Monique at the hotel. Bodyguards were fascinated with meeting Michael Jackson's bodyguard. He passed away by that point. And she was the biggest pop star in South Africa, basically, doing stadium tours. And then we were engaged 2 weeks later.
Wonderful.
And then married 2.5 months later, because the belief is, when you know, you know. She says she believes God sent me to her, you know. She refers back to the letter in the Bible. Yeah, my life is a book, and I keep getting these book offers, but I don't know where to start, John, because it's so crazy. I don't know where to start, you know. It's just yeah, I don't
Matt,
want to.
You know, I want you to put down May 27 at 12 o'clock. What time is it there? I want to know the difference. Are we 5 or 6? What time is it there?
That's one thing that's throwing me out. I don't know what day it is, what time it is. It's 22:06 here.
22. It's okay. So it's 5:40. Let's see. 1:40, 2:40, 3:40, 4:45. We're 5 hours apart. So I would like to get a hold of you. Let's see, at 5 o'clock your time on May 27, and I'm going to ask you. My only motive is to ask you a question to give you some thought-provoking ideas about where you are mentally and spiritually. That's my only motive. And it's a very important question. I want to wait 2 weeks, let you get through the next couple of weeks. I'm going to come back to you because I want to see where you are spiritually and emotionally and mentally. And you're going to promise me that you're going to go up a few notches. Not that you need any help.
Yeah.
But the question itself will have you helping yourself.
Yeah.
So if you let Brian know when we hang up, how can I get a hold of you? It'll be 5 o'clock your time on Wednesday, May 27. I'll give you a call. That'll be 12 o'clock my time. Sound good?
We can hook up. John, can I just ask you one piece of advice?
Yes.
So my retirement plan was, I was going to keep Matt Fiddes martial arts.